welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and today's another episode. New mouth got installed last night. Free Pattern Friday! Yay! It's Free Pattern Friday. I love Free Pattern Fridays. I've been retired now for 10 years, and I've enjoyed Fridays very much. I don't know why. It's part of a hangover from that working all those years, but I love Fridays. So today we're going to show you a block called Snowball 9 Patch. Now this has been called many things over the years, but this is one that it's a very open source book, and I've created it big enough to use those large scale neutrals with the, the big prints, that you can use this and make it look really great. So, but before we get into this, let's go do our shout out. Let's do our shout out first. Natalia from Natalia Bonner has been on my radar for quite a while. She is a very talented long armor, and the year she did one new pattern every day I just couldn't believe it. How much energy and artistic creativity she had. I thought, okay, yeah, we gotta spread the word about her. So she doesn't know the shout out is coming. So if you go over there and check out what you see and you like it, you hit that like, subscribe button too, for her, because it's going to be a lovely surprise. Just tell her Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. Now, the other thing is you're going to find that YouTube link, her YouTube link, in the show notes, along with all the cutting instructions for this 12.5-inch block. Really easy cutting instructions, by the way. And it's so important you guys get into those description of the show notes, or whatever they're calling it now, because you need to see that, right? Now, the first thing, one of the things you're going to find in there is our Zoom sew dates. Our Zoom sew dates are from now until December, are listed out. We will start the new year after. I haven't looked at a calendar for 2025 to tell you the honest truth. But we had so much fun with those Zoom sew dates. We're going to continue doing that. It's wonderful, and we get to see people and all the things that are inspiring them that day, and it's great. And if you are coming and you don't have anything to sew, and you're like, oh, I don't want to go and sew today. I don't want to sew today. You want to bring your knitting? Bring it. We are very warm and welcoming to other crafts as well. We also have a Facebook group that you guys have got to go check out if you're part of that Facebook community. It's growing really rapidly. It's warm and welcoming. We have so much fun. There's lots of pictures being posted all the time in there, and there's so many different community chats that you can join. We do fabric swaps by country. We do free pattern. We also do a free recipe one. One of these where you put it in the morning, and then at supper time you have a meal and you get to sew all day without having to worry about making supper. Those kind of recipes, I love those kind of recipes. We also have, there's different community chats that are going on, so many of them. It's so much fun. But we also have a virtual sewing room in Discord. That's who's hosting our virtual sewing room, and we just have so much fun in there. The ladies actually get a chance to chat and meet and talk and become friends. And then it's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You never know who you're going to meet and what country they're from. So it's always a great place to go hang out and meet new people too. So that's one of the big advantages. Now, we are also going to be starting a chaos sew along. I have finally reworked that pattern enough, and we've done how many units of this and that, and we're going to do one subunit a week. And then it'll be using all of different colors of your scraps. So, I mean, if you want to go, let's say, a Civil War palette, that would work. Or, Reproduction 30s palette, that would work as well. Or if you want to go all brights or all darks, or all of it would work. And any color can go into this, because it's just going to be one of those fun, let's do all the colors, let's play with all of it and make it bright and beautiful. Now, my quilt layout is going to be, I believe, for queen size, but I've listed out all of the sizes. So it's going to be some fun, and we've reworked it enough so that it's going to be a big, beautiful block. It's an asymmetrical block, so it's going to be just lovely. Now, lastly, I speak for free to quilting groups and quilt guilds, and I talk about elements of design, using your scraps, and all the and making charity quilts and all the kind of like just the best of the quilts I have made over the years, because they're gone out to friends and family and charities. I don't have a really big trunk show anymore, so I don't have other than the quilts that I have around my home. And it's always been something that's been very important to me now recently, especially making charity quilts. So if that's what your group is looking for, hey, you know, give me an email or get a hold of me on Facebook. I'm going to try and make myself available. And not only am I making myself, this is the way I'm giving back to the quilting community. Because when I go talk to those other quilters, I am so inspired by what they're doing and all the fun things I'm seeing there. And if I get to stay for show and tell, it's always exciting. Lastly, this is a quilt I made from strings, and it's in the Bubble Block series. And it is one of a couple of quilts I made from the Bubble Block series. So if you're liking this and you want to go check it out, it's, you know, it's double-sided and it's really lots of fun. It's really easy. So anyways, come on in. Let's get to this sewing. Okay, we're at the sewing machine, and the first thing we got to do is do the snowballing. Right now, one of the things, I used a very large scale graphic or floral print on my neutrals. So I wanted to give you guys some ideas how to move these out of your scrap stash if you have them. Because they're really hard to work with. You can't use them for small things because, you know, all of a sudden your 2-inch square looks like that and, you know, it's not neutral, right? So this is kind of it was one of these fun ways of doing it. Now we're going to snowball these big ones. Now I've already pressed my seam, and what I've tried to do is I've put my darker side to the top, right? So this is where I want, you know, my darker color, because this pink is a really large scale floral as well, but you can't, some parts are light, some parts are dark, some parts are, it's kind of all over the place. So I figured, okay, this is a perfect place to use up this too, right? You move that out and you just make it great, you know. Now this layout for this block here, you can do all sorts of things. Fun layouts with this type of block. You do get a very cool secondary pattern going. Now test before you snip. There we go. Right, so I'm just going to hold this like this and cut across. And there is my first snowball corner. Now I'm just going to hit another one. And here we'll do this. And it doesn't even matter which side you go to next, right? So I just want to make sure like I've got the darker side up, which I do. So there. Yeah, so it's been a busy summer for us between grandkids and going to visit my younger sister and going to visit my Auntie Jean. My uncle had passed away and we wanted to make sure she was okay. And I mean, she is. Her daughters are looking after her beautifully. And it's been a hard time for her because it's just, you know, you lose your spouse. I mean, a lot of things change very quickly, right? So I have not, fortunately, I haven't had that problem yet, but I don't know what I would do if I did. So I kind of like feel for her. So anyways, here we go. Let's get the darker side up again. Yeah. You know, grief is a very funny thing, and it hits people, everybody differently, you know? It really does. Okay, check for, yes, we got good coverage. This pink is not a really in-your-face pink, but I thought, okay, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on these blocks, so I didn't want them too much in your face, but that's okay. And there. Oh, they'll make nice additions to my chrome block. There, that works. Yes, it does. Trim off both. there we go. Now these 9 patches are real cuties too. They're very simple. You could also do 9 patches by strip piecing. I don't do a lot of strip piecing because I find lots of times my stash for scraps isn't big enough for strip piecing. So when I do, you know, I'm kind of like, yeah, that worked out really good. But yeah, you could also do 9 patches by strip piecing. There we go. And it looks good. So let's clip that one off too. There. Last one on this piece is right here. Okay, there. See what I mean? These blocks are all over the place, right? So, you know, to put this one under and, you know, put the darker one up, it looks better. It just looks better. It looks, you know, there's more contrast between the darker and the light one. So, whew, okay, hold on. Okay, there. Yeah. And the last snowball. Yay. Okay. So I've got rid of 2 large scales florals with this block. Yay. Sometimes, you know, people don't know what to do with their stuff. They get it in their stash and they're just like, you know what, just make something that uses it, you know. That's what I'm kind of the opinion of. Because I make charity quilts and I'm not upset to use orphan blocks, right, in any way, shape, or form. I'm always good with that. So let me get my other one on, and we'll get those 9 patches sewn up. Now when I'm doing 9 patches, if I haven't done them in strip sets, which I haven't here, these are all just loose pieces, what I will do is I will web them together. Now I tried to pick a neutral for this block just to provide some continuity that was very similar in tone to the background here. So this is how we start this. No, I gotta get my right foot. Get the other foot. Get the other foot on. Get the other foot on. There we go. Okay, there we go. Get all that over. Yeah, it's not one of my videos without changing feet, you know. I even think of that in my sewing too. How often do I have to change feet to make something? When I'm doing these blocks, I just, yeah. It's okay. It's sewing. It shows you that not everything is just, you know, miles and miles of patchwork, right? So, all right, here we go. And there. Now I'm going to do this one too right away. Might as well. And I have 2 at the same point. Okay. All right. I really like this navy. It's actually it's really a great navy. Okay, now when you're doing the other side of this, oops, I'm gonna slip this over just a hair and go just like this. Now that's your webbing. It's going to create a webbing that shows the block is now partially sewn together in at least one direction. You know, the entire block is ready. It's a nice way to keep all the moving parts. You know, if you have a very complex block, it's a nice way to keep all the moving parts in place. Practice on something simple like this first before you start webbing more complex stuff. But yeah, this is a great way of putting together quilt tops or quilt blocks. I do a lot of webbing when I do quilt tops, because I know exactly then what this quilt is going to look like when I'm finished. And if I want to change something now, I only have to pull out like one seam, one or two seams, you know. Anyway, so here we are. Let's get this one now. Oh, okay. So the dark is going to go in on itself. Okay, so all of this, you just finger press it that way, and then it will sew that way for now. So here we go. I gotta get that lined up. Now I wait till I get my needle down, and then I snip these apart so I can really get in there and see what my points that I'm matching, what they're gonna look like. Because you only need to be one stitch over. Then you go to the next point, and like that, just like that. Okay, again, the dark goes in on itself. Press to the dark. Okay, there we go, just like so. There. And line that up. Okay. Yeah, you can do several blocks like this at a time. You know, this. I'm doing 2, but you could do, like, you know, if you had hundreds of 9 patches to make for a block, say you were doing a Jack's chain or something, you could do it this way. You know, this would be the way to go. Okay, and snip. Nice tight seam. Nice tight corner. Okay. There we go. Okay. And now we have 2 9 patches. And the centers are going to match up perfectly. You're going to have nice sharp points on all these sides. It's going to look great. Now, let's get this off the machine. And so now you're going to put this together like exactly like a 4 patch. So basically it goes like this and like this, right? So let's get this. Okay, let's line this up. And we're line up the bottom. And we're going to make sure that we sew that the right way. Like all of those seams get sewn the correct way. And now this one goes the other way. This would make just that adorable baby blanket. But and I'm gonna make sure that goes the right way and stays flipped the right way. There we go. Put our plug back in. Okay. Go across the block. Lay your block out like that. Check to make sure it's all orientated right. Correctly, because you don't want to be making a mistake now. Okay, now this, I'm going to sew these so that the dark goes in on itself. Okay. Now, there. And okay, there. Now we're going to line up the end here. And this is going to be pushed in. And that's going to be pushed in. There we go. There. Now, the back, you're going to see the back, because this, sometimes people get lost on the ironing plan, or they just like, how do I iron it to get it flat? And basically this is all you have to do. You just iron it just like that. Now if you were putting these block to block, the next block would be, you know, a 9-patch, a snowball unit, right? And a 9-patch, you know, that kind of thing. Like it would go alternate back and forth. Like you wouldn't put all 4 snowball units together. You could if you wanted to, but then these would, you know, you'd have to do something with this a little bit differently. But yeah, basically that's how you're doing it. So let me get this a really good press, get it all going the way I want it to go here for you, and we'll get to our big ta-da moment. Okay, here we have our Snowball 9-patch. I think this came together so cute. I love this. I know it was one of these blocks that was kind of like, well, it's very beginner friendly, but you know, we need some beginner friendly blocks every once in a while on Free Pattern Friday. This, like I say, this would be a great one to use up your 6.5-inch, you know, 9 patches if you have those kicking around too in your sewing room. Like, I don't know what you guys keep as pantry items, but that would be a lot of fun to just make an entire quilt of this, right? So, and it is fast, and you can do it like as a side project as well, right? So it's a later ender project. So I do hope you give this one a try. It does come together really quick, and it's a lot of fun. So I hope you have an absolutely lovely week ahead, and life is treating you grand, okay? You guys stay well and take care until we meet each other again. Okay, bye! Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, you know, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure and quilting. And, you know, sometimes things don't work out as best they should, and sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I could share it with you. Share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out, and it helps us make more charity quilts, okay? So you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again, okay? Bye!